Rick, we've talked about the resilience of your team, both game to game and in game, quite a lot this year. What do you make of the bounce back and the pushback after the second period in this one tonight?
Yeah, great first. I mean, as good as you can get. Second, we weren't connected. Leafs are a good team. They started coming to us, and I thought we were spread out. We're chasing the puck a little bit, and then third period, obviously the power play was big. I thought a key moment after Marner made that, great shorthanded goal. I liked the calmness of Millsy. They said, "Okay, we got it," and they got it. So there wasn't a lot of panic. So I give them a lot of credit for not getting, pissed off and then getting frustrated.
The 2 power play goals tonight, you've got 4 in the last 3 games now, I think. You've talked about it being a process, but are you seeing what you're liking now as the results come through for the man advantage?
Well, if you look, we attacked the net. And we got 2 goals by attacking. I mean, we got it. When our power play is good, we attack. When we don't, we look for plays and all the pretty stuff. Then we're not so good. So I like the attack mentality. Hopefully we can build off this attack and get pucks in the net.
What did you like about the way your team came out in this game? Obviously, a lot of energy in the building, but what was it that your team did on the ice that you liked in the first?
I mean, everything was good. I mean, I didn't really want to change a thing. Our forecheck was good. I mean, we didn't give them much. It was just we had them on their heels, and then flipped in the second. We were on our heels, and then, third was obviously a lot of specialty teams.
We're seeing the Teddy Bluger line, or whatever you want to call it. We always talk about the possession and how much they're doing in the offensive zone, spending time there. But what's something that maybe we aren't talking about with that line that you're really liking?
Well, I mean, listen, that line's, the last 2 months is, I mean, they've won us some games. They're a line that's connected a lot. I hate to say it, but they're a system line. They're in spots that we want them to be in, and they're getting rewarded. I mean, Connor Garland's, I mean, he was terrific tonight again. I mean, he's had a hell of a year for us. Really proud of that guy, from start of the year. But he's done a great job.
The Hoglander line and a lot of puck retrieval and work on both goals. How impressed are you by what they did?
Yeah, I mean, Hoggy. I've liked Hoggy's game. I'm trying to get him out. I mean, there's so much specialty teams. I think they still played 11 minutes. If there wasn't any special teams, they'd probably play. Probably their high. I would have had them out there all the time. I thought they were great. Hoggy was like, I mean, that second goal, what a shot. So he spent a lot of time, Hoggy, in the video room, and he's working at practice a lot, and you can see it's paying off for him. That's why I love that. He's getting rewarded for his hard work.
Demko said he didn't like the first goal he gave up, but talk a bit about maybe how he bounced back in the latter half of the third when you guys really needed him.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Demmer. I mean, he just wins. I mean, I love him. He battles. Whether it's I got to look at the goal. Whether it's just if he says it, he thinks he should have them all. That guy, but yeah, he's a battler. He just wins.
Rick, you've mentioned that it's only going to get more intense, and we've seen that in the last few games. But I wonder how impressed you are with the evolution of this group in terms of their mindset, their maturity, and the way that they seem to be getting hungrier and hungrier as they find different ways to win.
Yeah, it's emotional. It's going to get even more emotional, and I like the emotion. I thought Zadorov was probably one of his best games. I mean, he was a menace out there. Mizey too. I thought Mizey played well. I like the emotion on these guys. And you're going to have the ebbs and flows of a game, but you got to keep your obviously emotion in check sometimes. But I thought those 2 big guys really set the tone for us.
You didn't see a lot from the Lotto line through 2, but in the third, they get 2 power play chances. They get 2 goals. Is that big game players just producing? Yeah,
it's big. I thought they struggled a little bit. I don't think they were connected tonight. I told them after the second, they were too spread out. I didn't think they were skating. I didn't think Bess and Petey were skating the first couple of periods, but what big players do, though, they seize the moment. Petey comes up big in the third for us, But they got to get used to it because it's going to get harder and harder, so we got to make sure we stay connected. But like I said, I love the power play. It was really good. Won us the game.
Ian Cole said one of the great things about Demko is that no matter what he lets in, that he's going to get the next one, and when they need him, he's going to be there. And he thought about it, and he said, our team is kind of like that as well. Do you know what he's meaning about?
Yeah, I do. Past history, I look at certain, I'm not comparing it, but I remember Grant Fuhr, he let 4 goals in, but he would never let the 5th goal in. Like in a game that maybe he didn't have it, whatever. He wasn't on his game, whatever. I'm not saying Denver wasn't his game, but I just love his resolve. They weren't going to get a 5th goal because he was dialed in. I think the same thing with our team. We might have a bad period or we might have a bad stretch, but somehow we can hang in there, and that's resiliency.
And you grinded out a 2-1 win. Now you win in a high event game. You wouldn't like that you blew the 3-0 lead, but does it say something about your team that you're able to win in these different ways?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you crumble, right? 3, they're coming at us, and then the shorthanded goal, that's where, maybe in the past the frustration comes in, and then the next line tries to do something they shouldn't do. I can't remember after the power play. I think another whatever line went out, I think they settled it down. I'm not quite sure, but as a coach, that's what I see. I don't see a lot of guys freaking out as much as like last year in pressure situations. But we're still learning. I mean, we still got a long way to go here.
What's the learning lesson you take away from the second period and sort of how it kind of fell apart briefly, but then you battle back?
Well, for me, Canucks hockey, we got to be a predictable team. I think sometimes when we want to regroup it and take it back and all that, that's when we get in trouble. That's what we did last year. That's last year's team, and it took a while to get that out of us. So every once in a while we get back to the old habits of taking it back, and I just like us being predictable. When we're predictable, we're a tough team to play against. So that's kind of the lesson, stay predictable.
Was that the message when you took the timeout?
Yeah. I just wanted to calm it down, and then obviously after the second, but even during the second, guys were pretty calm after we talked about, some technical stuff too.